Just recently I started taking stuff for heartburn because, getting old's a bitch. But I'm now as an older, in my adult life, I try to, if somebody's got something, they have to get something off their chest or they're a little more on the awkward side, I'm not even quick to judge anymore. I was a big fucking bully when I was a young kid. And a lot of it had to do with mental health. Like some kids just weren't right. And you know what? I wasn't right for a long time. I got addicted to fucking I got wound up in the spice fucking wave.
Okay.
I was
the synthetic weed.
I was heavily addicted to that for 5 years. I was smoking pot. I got a job working medical transportation, and I couldn't smoke weed, but I still wanted to feel nice and relaxed and get high. I went over to the smoke shop, and they had this stuff there, and it was all organic. It was all
legal.
Yeah. And I started smoking it, and then they take it off the shelves, and they fucking make it illegal. Now I'm having to find a dealer on the fucking street like a crackhead. Bro, I was spending our last $20 on shit, and I was withdrawing in my sleep. I would fall asleep high on this shit. I would fall asleep with my pipe in my hand because it's just smokable heroin. That's all it is. Yeah. And I would wake up in the middle of the night having to take a shit, just be really sweaty and gross. Didn't know what the hell was going on. I was withdrawing in my sleep. I was sleeping too long without smoking this shit.
Damn.
So I would have to have a bowl fucking right next to me, ready to go, or else I would just be sick. Bro, I functioned like this my first full year not my first full year, but my first. I was with the Q for a while, and I couldn't even laugh on air because I was so congested that I sounded like a 60, 70-year-old man. And it got to me. And one night I had a really bad scare. A friend of mine him and I split a bag. I was smoking 10 grams of this shit a day.
Damn.
And that's a lot. I was smoking 10, 20 grams of this shit a day. That's like a $50 bag a day. And my buddy and I split a bag, and he ended up in the hospital. And I was just like, I knew I felt weird in this batch because they were outlawing it. Then they were saying that it was okay. Then people were finding loopholes, and then they were making different shit. Nobody knew what the fuck it was. All I knew was that I needed it. And I just one day, man, I kicked it, and I wasn't right for a month.
Shit.
I couldn't fucking even get a hard on for a month. Damn. Bro. Fucked my body up. This shit was the worst. And I've been clean now for shit going on 4 years, man. Like it was tough, dude. It was probably the hardest thing I've ever had to do.
Wow.
No bullshit. It was fucking painful. I was sweaty for 2 weeks straight. I couldn't eat for fucking 4 days straight. And then for a month, I was just weird, and my body wasn't acting right. Like I'm telling you, I couldn't do shit all day. But it was just, it was really good to be off of that and to be feeling normal again. And I'm not going to lie when I say that. I feel like there's still some kind of like long-term effects from as much shit as I smoked. I forget simple words sometimes. And I'm like, it's a square. I can't. And, you did it to yourself. I did it to myself. I'm not, it's not like a pity thing or anything, but that's just what it was, man. It's, it's a mental thing. You need that fucking. I have an addictive personality. What can I say?
Yeah, that stuff, that spice that came out. It came on the market for a very short time.
Very
fucking
short amount of time.
Hard.
Yeah.
And then they started taking it off the shelves, and like you said, became illegal. Yep. That's kind of like what the big pharma does. Is they have these pills, and once they outlaw it, they change one ingredient, one molecule, so now it's a different thing. Yep. And now they do it again.
And there's a whole set of other fucking side effects with just that one little change. You know what I mean?
It's insane, man. I'm trying to find somebody in the doctor industry or big.
I know
pharma.
A pharmaceutical rep.
Sweet. I'll talk to him, Kevin.
If he comes to the Valley, he just moved to San Antonio.
Okay.
Yeah. He's a family member.
I'm really interested in the opiate crisis. It's a huge epidemic.
I had to watch my mom. She's probably going to hate me for saying this, but like I said, I don't like to censor anything. And she's better now. But she lived in Oklahoma where the doctors didn't have to see you. They could just send you a prescription. And they were fucking sending her morphine.
Wow.
And her new doctor, now she lives in the Valley, her new doctor is apparently part of like the board of doctors that make all the laws in Texas. And he was like, this is not happening anymore. And he took her off the morphine, and she went through the same withdrawals that I went through when I was getting off the spice. And I saw this with her. I don't know if she could get a hard on or not, but I saw this. Like, she wasn't feeling good. And I showed up one day, and she's like, don't even come over here. I don't look good. I don't feel good. And I went over there, and I said, Ma, I know exactly what you're going through. Like, don't worry about it. Like, it's cool. Like, you don't have to keep me away. I know it. I know how this is, how you're doing. And she would just tell me, I don't know how you did it. I don't know how the hell you did it, but it was horrible. But yeah, this guy, there's a new law now. You cannot be prescribed morphine unless you're a terminal cancer patient.
Oh shit.
And yeah, she was just, I mean, I'm talking fucking years, man. We used to walk into the kitchen. She'd be asleep, standing up, doing the dishes.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, like just standing there. And it was bad, but it wasn't even her fault. It was the doctor, like, got her put on it, and then would just send it to her. She didn't even see the fucking guy, you know?
Wow. That's insane, man.
Yeah. And he's just getting, these doctors get kickbacks from these companies.
Yeah.
The more, the more you put them on it. Yeah. They would give you a little bit, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. It's the world we live in is very strange. It's you get compensated for giving literally diabolical fucking drugs to people.
You look at that one guy, that Jorge Quisada or whatever. Yeah, dude. He was putting people on chemo that weren't even cancer patients. He was fucking killing these people just to make almost $250 million.
What kind of mind frame do you have to fucking be in?
How do you sleep at night?
Yeah.
When your patient is you just leave your office. I'm gonna put this fucking bitch on chemo. Well, her hair's falling out. She can't. It's poison. Chemotherapy. Her hair's falling out. She feels like shit. Well, I'm gonna go count my fucking money and go to sleep normal. Yeah. What? Really? That guy has some mental issues. He himself needs to be looked at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not right if you do that shit to people.